My beloved child. There is a reason you were guided to this message today, and it is far greater than you realize. What seemed like another ordinary day became the exact moment everything started changing for your soulmate. For so long, they carried invisible burdens, unanswered questions, and emotions they refused to face. They convinced themselves that silence was safer than honesty, that walking away was easier than admitting what their heart had always known. But today, something happened that they never expected. A piece of news reached them, unexpected, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. The moment they heard it, every excuse they had been hiding behind began to fall apart. Memories of you rushed back with incredible clarity, not as distant thoughts, but as moments they suddenly wished they could relive. They realized that while they had been trying to move forward, their heart had never truly left you behind. Don't skip. This is only the beginning, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next truth explains why this news has left them questioning every decision they have made. The most surprising part is not the news itself, it is what the news awakened inside them. They expected to feel relief, but instead they felt an emptiness they could no longer explain away. Every path they once believed was leading them to happiness suddenly felt meaningless. They found themselves comparing every conversation, every smile, and every connection to the one person they could never completely forget, you. For the first time in a long time, they stopped blaming circumstances and started asking themselves the question they had avoided for far too long: what if the greatest mistake I ever made was letting this person slip away? That single thought refused to leave their mind. It followed them through every quiet moment, every sleepless night, and every attempt to distract themselves. Stay till the end. The story is only becoming more powerful because what happens next is not something they planned, it is something their own heart has been preparing for without them even realizing it. What they still do not know is that this unexpected turning point is opening a door they believed had been permanently closed. Someone close to them has already noticed the change in their behavior. Their silence is different. Their eyes reveal emotions they can no longer hide. Even the people around them sense that something inside has shifted forever. They are beginning to understand that some connections are never erased by time, distance, or pride. They can only be delayed until the right moment arrives. And that moment may be much closer than either of you expected. Don't skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. The next piece of this story reveals the one realization that completely changes how your soulmate sees you, and once that truth reaches their heart, nothing will ever feel the same again. There is one detail your soulmate has not shared with anyone, and that is exactly why this moment feels so different. After hearing the news, they did not rush to speak or explain themselves. Instead, they became unusually quiet, because for the first time they could no longer silence the truth inside their own heart. They replayed conversations they thought they had forgotten. They remembered the moments when you understood them without needing an explanation. They even caught themselves wondering how life might have looked if they had chosen differently. What shocked them the most was not the news itself. It was realizing that every road they followed somehow led back to thoughts of you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What is about to unfold is something they never believed they would have to face, because someone unexpectedly pointed out a truth they had been blind to all along. Those words stayed with them, echoing louder every hour, making it impossible to keep pretending that nothing had changed. As the day moved forward, another unexpected piece quietly fell into place. Someone close to your soulmate noticed the change in their expression and asked a simple question that completely caught them off guard. Are you still thinking about that person? They tried to smile. They tried to change the subject. But deep inside, they already knew the answer. That single question broke through every emotional wall they had spent so much time building. Suddenly, the distance between the two of you no longer felt like protection, it felt like regret. Every reason they once used to justify staying away began losing its power. They started realizing that time had not erased what they felt, it had only revealed how valuable your presence truly was. That realization became impossible to ignore, and with every passing moment, it grew stronger instead of fading. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The next discovery they make will force them to choose between continuing the life they created, or finally following what their heart has quietly been asking them to do. And yet, the biggest surprise has not happened. While your soulmate believes they are simply reflecting on the past, unseen pieces are still moving into place. A conversation is approaching that neither of you expected, and it carries the answer they have secretly been searching for. They have no idea that one unexpected moment is about to connect every unanswered question, every missed opportunity, and every feeling they tried to hide. When that moment arrives, they will finally understand why this season had to end before a new one could begin. The truth is much closer than they realize, and once it is revealed, looking back will never feel the same again. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The next moment changes everything in a way your soulmate never saw coming. The moment your soulmate thought they finally understood everything, another unexpected truth appeared. It did not come through a dramatic event or a loud announcement. It arrived quietly, through a conversation they never planned to have. During that conversation, someone revealed a perspective they had never considered before. They were reminded of the version of themselves that existed when you were still close, the version that laughed more freely, trusted more deeply, and dreamed without constantly questioning the future. That realization stayed with them long after the conversation ended. For the first time, they stopped asking, "Why did this happen?" and started asking, "What if I still have the chance to make this right?" That single question changed everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next caught even your soulmate completely off guard. They found themselves searching through old memories, revisiting moments they once overlooked, and discovering hidden meaning in things they never appreciated until now. As those memories returned, another unexpected pattern became impossible to ignore. Every time they tried convincing themselves to move on, something gently pulled their attention back toward you. A familiar song. A place that suddenly reminded them of your presence. A sentence someone spoke that sounded exactly like advice you once gave. None of these moments seemed important on their own, but together they created a picture they could no longer dismiss. They finally understood that the connection they tried to leave behind had never truly disappeared, it had simply been waiting for the right moment to be seen with clear eyes. What surprised them most was realizing that they were no longer afraid of their feelings. Instead, they were afraid of waiting too long and losing the opportunity to tell you everything that had remained locked inside their heart. Don't skip. The next few moments hold the reason this emotional shift is becoming impossible for them to ignore, and something huge is waiting for you just beyond this turning point. What your soulmate still doesn't realize is that another door has already started opening without their knowledge. Someone is about to cross their path with information that connects every unanswered question from the past to the future that is quietly unfolding. This conversation will not feel ordinary. It will bring clarity where there was confusion, hope where there was uncertainty, and courage where fear once lived. When they hear these words, they will finally understand why every delay, every silence, and every unexpected twist happened exactly when it did. The ending they believed they had accepted is no longer the ending at all, it is becoming the beginning of a completely different story. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation is the one your soulmate will never be able to forget, and once it arrives, nothing between you will ever feel the same again. Everything changed the moment your soulmate stopped running from the truth. They had spent so much time convincing themselves that life would eventually erase what they felt for you, but instead, every passing day only made one thing clearer: you were never just another chapter in their story. The news they received did not simply bring information, it uncovered emotions they had buried beneath fear, pride, and uncertainty. They began noticing how every important decision they made somehow circled back to the same unanswered question. What if the person I've been searching for has been the one I already let go? That thought refused to leave. It followed them into quiet mornings and restless nights until they could no longer pretend it wasn't real. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happens next is the moment they finally stop looking at the past with regret and start looking toward the future with hope. Then something completely unexpected happened. A simple encounter, a familiar voice, or even an ordinary conversation became the final piece they never knew they were missing. Without anyone trying to convince them, they suddenly understood why every relationship, every delay, and every disappointment had left them feeling incomplete. None of those experiences carried the peace they always felt whenever your memory crossed their mind. They realized that what they had been calling moving on was actually just avoiding the deepest truth of their heart. For the first time, they imagined what life would look like if they stopped letting fear make their decisions. That picture was impossible to ignore, and once it appeared, everything else seemed smaller than before. Don't skip. The next realization is even more powerful because it doesn't come from someone else's opinion. It comes from a certainty growing inside their own heart, and something huge is waiting for you. Now the distance between you no longer feels permanent in their eyes. Instead, it feels like the final stretch before an answer they have been searching for all along. They may not know the exact words they will say, or when the perfect moment will arrive, but they know one thing with complete certainty: they cannot keep pretending you never changed their life. Every sign, every memory, and every quiet realization has led them to this single point. They are standing at the edge of a decision that could reshape everything they believed about love, timing, and second chances. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter begins with a choice your soulmate never imagined they would have the courage to make, and once that choice is made, the story takes its biggest turn yet. A quiet shift has already begun, even though your soulmate has not spoken a single word about it. The news that once left them overwhelmed is no longer just something they remember. It has become the reason they are questioning every decision that kept the two of you apart. They are beginning to see that what they once called bad timing may have actually been a season of growth, preparing both of you for something stronger. Every excuse that once sounded convincing is slowly losing its power. They can no longer deny the feeling that someone truly important is still missing from their life. The more they try to focus on everything else, the more your presence returns to their thoughts without invitation. It happens in the smallest moments, and those moments are becoming impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what they are about to discover next will answer a question they have been carrying in silence for far longer than anyone realizes. Then came the moment that completely changed their perspective. They looked back, not with sadness, but with honesty. They realized that they had spent so much time protecting themselves from disappointment that they also protected themselves from the possibility of real happiness. Suddenly, they remembered the way you encouraged them when no one else understood them, the peace they felt simply knowing you were there, and the connection they could never fully explain. Those memories no longer felt like the past. They felt like unfinished promises waiting for the right moment to be fulfilled. For the first time, they stopped asking whether they should reach out and started wondering whether they had already waited too long. That question has become louder every single day, and it is pushing them toward a decision they once believed they would never make. Don't skip. The story is building toward a moment neither of you expected, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next step could change everything they believed about your connection. What your soulmate cannot see yet is that this journey is no longer only about them. While they are gathering the courage to face what their heart has been trying to tell them, circumstances around both of you are quietly aligning in ways that seem almost impossible to predict. Doors that appeared permanently closed are beginning to unlock one by one. Conversations that once seemed impossible are becoming more likely with every passing day. They are standing closer to a breakthrough than they have ever been before, even if they still cannot see the full picture. One final realization is approaching, a realization so clear that it will remove every remaining doubt from their heart. Stay till the end. Don't skip, something huge is waiting for you.